involving rewriting Mr. Kwebu.
Oh, here from the former Speaker of Parliament, Aaron Michael Quay. Also coming up on the program this afternoon, Martin Kwebu returns to the OSP after his detention last night, and we're live there. Also coming up, robbers ransack a Sutifi rural bank and attack police personnel making away with guns in their Hafu region. And much later on the program, construction works progressing steadily on several key roads in the Volta region under the government's Big Push agenda. Thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. The Office of the Special Prosecutor is coming under mounting public and political scrutiny following the arrest of lawyer Martin Kwebu. On Wednesday night, Mr. Kwebu was detained by the OSP for allegedly obstructing public officers and was subsequently taken to the National Intelligence Bureau. He was later released. The incident has triggered widespread criticism, with many, including former Speaker of Parliament, Professor Aaron Michael Quay, accusing the OSP of overstepping its mandate. Some describe the arrest as an abuse of power, whilst others are calling for the Special Prosecutor, Kisie Jabing, to resign. And we'll bring you more in a special report shortly. But the office has also reacted to legal practitioner Martin Kwebu's account of his detention and subsequent release. The Director of Strategy, Communication and Research at the OSP, Samida Akun, says that Kwebu has been acting improperly towards their personnel in the discharge of their lawful duties. Sami, in a statement on his Facebook page, said, quote, "This is not the first or even the second time Martin Kwebu has acted improperly toward OSP's security personnel in the dialogue of their lawful duties. After each incident, he publicly presents a completely different version of the event. Having monitored his conduct for some time, it's become clear that unless his interactions were recorded, he would misrepresent the facts." He also said that the confrontation at the OSP has nothing to do with the ongoing inquiry into the unsubstantiated allegations he made against the SP and the office, unquote. Now, Samida Akon also said that Martin Kwebu continues to claim that he is, quote unquote, gathering evidence and will eventually present it to an OSP board, despite knowing there is currently no board in place. He accused Martin Kwebu of refusing to cooperate, demanding that certain officers be removed from the panel. Let's speak to private legal practitioner Law Austin Braku Powers. Good afternoon to you, sir. Thank you very much for joining us.
Good afternoon, Beatrice. I hope you are doing well.
I'm wonderful. I hope you're well. Following the recent criticisms of the Office of the Special Prosecutor, I'm sure you've monitored that calls have intensified to scrap the office and allow the Attorney General, IOCO, and other allied agencies to perform their functions. Let me get your thoughts, first of all, really, on these calls that are coming in.
I think Beatrice, it's needless. I think that comment is needless because there's no basis for scrapping the Office of the Special Prosecutor, because I have maintained that the office is a complementary institution in our anti-corruption fight. It is not the sole institution. And I don't see anything that the Special Prosecutor has done to warrant such comments. I think it's needless. It has no basis, and those make pushing forth that kind of argument are just coming from a point of emotions. Because if really we are to look at the facts, I think we should be lauding the Special Prosecutor and not condemning the Special Prosecutor. So I don't see any basis for scrapping the Office of the Special Prosecutor. We need it. because all the other institutions, Shraj, Iyoko, they've not done enough to inject confidence in Ghanaians. And mind you, they all have different focus. They all have different focus. So if we have established the OSP to complement our anti-corruption fight, it should be, if we should allow it to work and function. We should rather retool the office and give them the necessary resources to function.
Indeed, and there are those, aside from the route healing you talk about, there are those who agree that the office must stay, but a lot of people feel that perhaps the person who is occupying it, in this case, Kissie Jabin, is not performing to the satisfaction of Ghanaians, and so he rather should be removed. What do you think about that one?
No, I think it's a Beatrice. I don't get it when people try to accuse Kissie Jabin, and I don't know what their problem is. I don't think Kissie Jabin is a problem here. Are we complaining about the manner in which the OSP has been handling issues? That should be a different argument altogether. Are we saying that the OSP has not done enough? I don't get it. People are expecting the OSP to be going for the big fishes. Who are the big fishes? And can he secure conviction within the space of 3 months or 2 months? How many convictions has Attorney General so far secured since he was appointed? Tell me.
But the OSP has been there, the special prosecutor has been there longer than the current Attorney General.
Yes, and he has secured 7 convictions.
People say they want to see people jailed.
Because conviction does not necessarily mean serving a jail time. And I think it is important we push forward this part of conversation of education to Ghanaians. We need to tell Ghanaians that conviction does not mean going to jail. And in fact, mind you, the OSP, under its powers, has the authority to even call for a refund. If the OSP can get an accused person to refund some monies that they may have stolen from the state, that is part of the conviction. Doesn't mean go to jail. And I think we need to exercise some restraint and manage our expectations. We are expecting too much from the OSP. We want the OSP to be doing what the Attorney General has failed to do. The Attorney General is a failed institution. Or the Office of the Attorney General is a failed institution. So if we feel that...
You're saying the Attorney General's office is a failed institution.
Exactly.
Why do you say that?
How many convictions has the Attorney General secured since he was appointed? And how many, in fact, when the NDC was in opposition, they were saying that many of the extra appointees had siphoned funds. How many convictions have they been able to secure? In fact, how many people have they even arraigned before our courts? These are matters we should be talking about. The oral they promise. How many people are they even convicted? These are matters we should be talking about and not be chasing the OSP, who is supposed to do an independent work, and who we know that even when he is determined to chase or go after political appointees, he may struggle because of the nature of our politics. I think the OSP has done well. We need to commend the OSP. We don't need to be hounding Kissie Jabin because he has not done anything. And because, mind you, many people are roping him or they are pushing for this narrative because of even what happened to Martin Pebu. I think we need to be circumspect in our conversation. If we don't have the full benefit of the fact, we don't need to be commenting and be condemning institutions. What we don't even have, when we have only heard one side of the story, we've not heard the other side of the story. I have heard from the OSP, the Office of the Special Prosecutor, and I think that people were reactive. They didn't have the benefit of the full complement of the story, and they just condemned the OSP, and they are calling for the OSP's head. I mean, those calls were uncalled for, and those people should desist from that pattern. We need, as a people and as a nation, to be independent, strategically criticize when there's the need to do that. When, especially, you have the benefit of the full fact, and not to be making allegations when you have only one fact. In fact, which is the point of view of Martin Pebu regards to what happened at the OSP, at the Office of the Special Prosecutor, and that of their office, they are diametrically opposed viewpoints. And I think if anyone is diligent, the person will know that you don't need to draw hasty conclusions when you have not heard from the side of the OSP, especially pertaining to what happened to Martin Pebu yesterday. So I think if people want to base what happened the incident and conclude that because of that, Kisei Jabi has worsened this case. Those arguments are uncalled for and they are needless.
In the same vein, there are those who say that Martin Kpebu also has equally done nothing, and the Ghanaians are expecting the special prosecutor to rather go after individuals who are alleged to have stolen the country's money, and they keep mentioning Ken Ofori-Atta, for instance. Why go for Martin Kpebu instead of Ken Ofori-Atta, the man that Ghanaians want you to go for?
Right. Which is, the thing is that when you look at the narrative, in fact, the surrounding facts, there's a claim that there's an allegation that Martin obstructed an officer of the special prosecutor, the office of the special prosecutor, from doing his duties. In fact, when you read the OSP Act 959, particularly Section 69, it is clear that if you obstruct an officer of the OSP in the performance of his or her responsibilities, you may be charged. And if convicted, you could be made to pay a fine. So I think we should not be taking things lightly. Because you cannot walk to the IGP's office or go to the police headquarters and misconduct yourself. Or if you are invited by the police or IOCO or NID, you go there and misconduct yourself. No, that is their premises. That's a security zone, a security facility. If you misconduct yourself and they believe that per that misconduct, it amounts to an obstruction of a lawful officer, they have the right to take you through the right process. I think we should not be looking forward to the OSP handling high-profile cases. Why isn't, in fact, if the Attorney General feels the OSP is moving slowly, why can't the Attorney General take the folder and run with the matter? I don't get it. Don't forget that the OSP's powers were cut out of that of the Attorney General under Article 88.
Mm-hmm.
So if the OSP is being slow, the Attorney General, in fact, many say the OSP is independent. That is not true. The OSP is not independent. When you read, in fact, Section 4 of Act 955,
we know it's under the Attorney General's department.
Yes.
But let me ask you.
The OSP is subject to the authority of the Attorney General. It's not independent. If the Attorney General feels, or if this government feels that the OSP is not attaching some seriousness to the issues surrounding Ken Ofori-Atta, they should take the folder from the OSP and run with it.
Let me ask you this very briefly before you go. You talked about the fact that people perhaps may be making calls for the office to be scrapped and even the man himself, the SP, to resign. Perhaps it could be linked to the Martin Kpebu saga. But let me just get your general understanding of what you make of this back and forth between Martin Kpebu and the special prosecutor, leading to his detention and release eventually, and this subsequent conversation we are actually having.
Beatrice, the thing is that Martin Kpebu was charged for obstructing a lawful officer from doing his task. That is different from the allegations he made against or he leveled against the OSP. These are two separate incidents. In fact, when you read the statement from the office, they say that the charge against Martin Kpebu has nothing to do with allegations. The allegations he leveled against the OSP, I mean, they constitute different investigations altogether. I don't think we need to be combining these two different incidents. Martin Kpebu was charged and has been granted bail on the basis of obstructing a lawful officer of the OSP. That is a different ballgame altogether. And that is different from the allegations he leveled against the OSP. For the allegations, he needs to go there. In fact, Beatrice, if you claim, you said to somewhere...
And if you could be wrapping up for us.
Yes, Beatrice, if you claim that someone, it may be that someone occupying a high office, they have misconducted himself or is not attaching seriousness to a particular investigation, go and provide evidence. If you believe there are you suspect some bit of corruption here and there, go and provide evidence. I think this is a simple matter. I don't think we need to be crying wolf about anything. Martin Kpebu should go, provide the evidence, and let's proceed with that. It's a simple matter.
Oh, and it here. It's a simple matter, he says. Austin Bracco Powers, private legal practitioner. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us. Some 15 minutes past the hour of 12. When we come back, we'll bring you some more. Do stay with us.
Hello! 92.7 3 FM. 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 92.7 3 FM.
The Office of the Special Prosecutor now. I did tell you that Martin Pegbu will be returning to that place and we're bringing you a live update. My colleague Noble Crosby-Annan is currently there. Let's speak exactly what he's telling us.
His claims that the OSP is not being efficient in the handling of the cases that have been brought to its doorstep. He has been a strong critic of the work of the Office of the Special Prosecutor, particularly the Special Prosecutor himself, Kisieja, being arguing that they have not been very efficient and forthright in their work. Case in point is the mention of Ken Oforiatta's, the handling of the Ken Oforiatta's corruption allegation involving the GRA and the SML scandal, amongst others. So he is asking that the cases that the OSP has investigated be also investigated or be looked through by an independent body. In fact, he's alleging, making some allegations against the OSP, some corruption allegations amongst others. So that is all part of the reasons why he was investigated or invited yesterday to come to the premises of the Special Prosecutor, where his arrest happened and he was detained. And after a few hours, after some hours, he was granted bail with some conditions that people have raised concerns about, that it was on the higher end and should not have happened. When Martin Pegbu came out yesterday, he made some claims that his arrest was unwarranted, and is proof that the Special Prosecutor himself, Kisieja Bing, is unfit for the work that has been given to him to handle. So fast forward, Martin Pegbu has arrived here at the offices of the Special Prosecutor to continue that engagement. Now, we do not know whether or not what happened yesterday will come up at this meeting, or this meeting that is currently ongoing will be follow-ups to previous engagements that they have had that have been inconclusive. That is because Martin Pegbu has insisted that he is not going to engage with people who are subordinates to the OSP because they cannot investigate the OSP. So hopefully that is what this meeting will be about. When Martin Pegbu comes out, we'll be able to have a proper investigation, interaction with him to know what really happened in there when he went in there. You remember that yesterday Martin Pegbu was raising concerns on the sidelines about the presence of military officers who were performing duties of a police officer. But that, since our arrival here at the office of the Special Prosecutor, we have not cited the military officers yet. I should also tell you that it's been some form of a norm, a constant, that almost all the time, or as frequently as possible, as we can remember, we often see military officers, military personnel around the gates of the offices of the Special Prosecutor. Today, we have not seen that. What we've seen two police officers who have manned the gate, who have been very receptive to us, if you like. We've not seen the military officers yet. Martin Pegbu, we understand, is inside. And the engagement, whether interrogation, investigation, the tete-a-tete is ongoing, Mawena. And we'll get to know what exactly will happen, or what exactly happened when Martin Pegbu is allowed to leave today. And we'll get to know exactly what transpired inside.
Quickly, Crosby, on the bit about the changes in terms of the security detail at the frontage of the Office of the Special Prosecutor. Yesterday I was making arguments, that's the private legal practitioner Martin Pegbu, about parking space and the likes. Did you see him when he made his way into the premises, and what was it like? What was his mood like as well, having to return barely 12 hours really after he was released?
Well, Mauna, if Martin Kwegbu yesterday was saying that he has remained in high spirits because he is very confident about himself that he has not done anything wrong, he has not committed any crime, or he has not been involved in any corruption-related activity that should make him a suspect. In fact, yesterday he was coming to provide more information to the OSP. Matter of fact, coming to help the OSP in its work. Rather than being a suspect or being suspected of committing a crime that should warrant an investigation against him. So he has maintained that he has been in high spirits since all of this back and forth between him and the OSP has started. So when he was arriving today, like always, he was upbeat. He was the usual Martin Kwegbu, dressed in the usual Martin Kwegbu way. He entered, he drove inside, and then a few of his lawyers also later came to tell the officers, the security officers there, that they are lawyers for Martin Kwegbu. They were also allowed inside. There was no indication of he being downhearted, down-spirited, or intimidated, if you like. In fact, yesterday, he was very emphatic to say that what has happened, his arrest and detention yesterday, will put more fuel to the fire.
Right.
That his demand that Kisieja, being the special prosecutor, be removed on the grounds of incompetence, on the grounds of ineffectiveness, will follow through. He says that he is not deterred in any way, that what has happened will push him off track in his quest for the removal for Kisieja. He's insisting that the 15 claims or allegations or concerns he has against Kisieja, they are still very much in force. And in fact, what has happened or what happened yesterday will give him more impetus, will encourage people to provide him with more information so that he can put the feet of Kisieja to the fire. His petition will be forwarded to the president, will be given to the president, and they will be forwarded to the appropriate quarters. And all the procedures necessary for the removal of Kisieja will be put in place, and Kisieja will be removed as he wants, because he says that he is incompetent.
Right.
At the moment, he's fine. He's
right.
The usual Martin Kwegbu.
Right. Thank you.
And you heard there my colleague Noble Crosby Annan in that interaction with my colleague currently on TV, Mawina Egbert. We'll stay a bit longer on this because private legal practitioner and law lecturer of University of Professional Studies, Accra, UPSA, John Baptist Ayeji, also believes that the special prosecutor is overstepping his boundaries. He spoke earlier on 3FM's Sunrise.
We are dealing with Martin Kwegbu, all right, who is a lawyer, who is known. So for me, there's not even need to arrest him. You can just write a complaint to maybe the CID or any other, and then they will invite him later for the matter to be discussed. So the arrest itself for me is an issue because there are conditions under which you have to arrest someone, as in detain the person. The law provides for condition under that. And the other condition, you just tell the person that you are under arrest, and you don't have to handcuff and all those things if there's no need for that. So my personal opinion is that if what the OSP are saying, or OSP is saying that happened, really happened, just, write a complaint to a different institution, and then they will invite him as in when they think they want to do that, and then the matter will go on. And this is not the first time something like that has happened. It has happened several times, where the person will just refer to the other institution, and then the other institution will take it up, and then we invite him as well.
The private legal practitioner and law lecturer at the University of Professional Studies, Accra, UPSA, John Baptist Ayeji. And last night we heard the former Speaker of Parliament, Professor Michael Quay, also speaking on this. Let's hear exactly what he said.
The special prosecutor did not even have any business involving rewriting Mr. Kwegbu.
We'll have to bring you more of that later. Now let's move straight to in Kasiem in the Ahafu region, where we understand armed robbers robbed a Sutifi rural bank, a mobile money vendor, and attacked police personnel in Kasiem police station, making away with police guns and also freeing one person from police cell. And we'll be bringing you some more on this. Ahead of that, 21 illegal miners made up of 11 Chinese nationals and 10 locals who have invaded the Yakombo Forest Reserve in the central Gonja district of the Savannah region have been arrested by operatives of the Forestry Commission. All 21 suspects, including 3 tipper trucks, 3 pickup vehicles and an excavator, have since been transported to Damango. Christopher Mwakon, our correspondent there, brought us this report earlier.
The operation, which was conducted in the early hours of Tuesday, December 2, 2025, led to the arrest of 11 Chinese nationals and 10 locals who were engaged in illegal mining activities. An excavator, 3 tipper trucks, and 3 pickup vehicles believed to be used by the illegal miners were confiscated. Savannah Regional Manager of the Forestry Commission, Frank Adumako Kobia, is worried about the impunity with which the illegal miners were mining in the forest reserve.
So fortunately, when they went, they got the guys. They were able to arrest 11 Chinese and then 10 Ghanaians. And then when they got there, they saw this excavator, also in a low bed, fortunately. So they had to escort it to Damango. From the estimation, that's the area that has been destroyed, was roughly between 100 and 120 hectares.
He emphasized the need for more resources and efforts at dealing with the menace.
In terms of worry, because one, we do not have enough resources to be fighting these illegal activities. And you know the threats that most of them, sometimes they are armed. In fact, earlier undercover trips saw that some people were armed, and they have even erected barriers there. That those who go there to work, when you pass through the barrier, if you're motorbike, you have to pay something to them before you enter. And looking at the distance, and we are also understaffed. We don't have the resources to be able to tackle the issue.
Meanwhile, police sources say all 21 suspects will be processed for court on Thursday, December 4.
And our correspondent Christopher Mwakon found that report. President John Mahama has reposed confidence in the police administration's maintenance of law and order, especially warding the street of criminal elements in recent times. The president reiterated his resolve at retooling the police service to fighting crime head-on in an unending manner, presenting 40 special-purpose armored vehicles to the Ghana Police Service. Mr. Mahama also sent a special message to criminals in the country.
Let me state clearly, our dear country Ghana will not surrender a single street, a community, or any public space to criminals today, tomorrow, or forever. To those who insist on disturbing the peace of our nation, whether through armed robbery, organized crime, illegal arms trafficking, or gang activity, our message is simple. The Ghanaian state is ready. The Ghana Police Service is ready. The laws of this republic will deal decisively with anyone who endangers the safety of our people.
And you heard right there,